Hello everyone, my name is Millie, Whipplesmith Plank, and I live in the mountains of Northern California on a working cattle ranch near the small town of Etna. The piece you are looking at is a woodblock print of a turkey vulture. Such a beautiful bird to have such a rotting name. Growing up on a ranch abundantly filled with domestic and wildlife, death was present. Vultures circling were assigned to check whether we had lost or were about to lose an animal. They also heralded the change of seasons, with clusters of dark spirals curling into the sky. What I enjoy about this piece is the use of color, the greens and blues, and the position of the wings giving a feeling of movement and just arrested flight. He's just about to pounce on something. What is that vulture looking at anyway? The use of red at the bottom of the picture is usually what would stop your eye taking it off the page, and that's where you would stay, but the dark pulls you back up into the wings. You know he's not going to be in that position long. But I didn't quite like the stark white of the paper, so I ran an uncarved block through the press, coated in a transparent raw sienna. If you look closely, you can see it printed the grain of the wood in the background, thus softening the contrast and bringing out the golds in the wings, which seemed to work for me. It was definitely a trial and error process, which is what I do a lot of in my printmaking. Such is the nature of the beast. I am often asked why printmaking. I must admit that it is time-consuming, difficult to correct mistakes, and unforgiving. Part of the answer is that I like the process. First, the development of the concept or idea, then the sketching to explore different compositional ideas. Next, experimentation with color. There's a lot of that. And then I do a full-size color rendering with gouache as a final test before transferring it to a Sheena plywood plate with tracing paper. The carving is done with Japanese tools, and for me, it is actually the most fun part of the process. The cuts have a rather joyful spontaneity, which often lead to delightful surprises, as well as the occasional oops. After carving, I roll ink onto the surface of the block, place a piece of paper on top, and hand crank it through an etching press. This carving, mixing of colors, rolling it onto the plate, then through the press, is repeated for each color. In Rapture, I tried to limit my colors to about 8 instead of the usual 10 to 15. I didn't want there to be as much blending in order to emphasize the feathers in the wings. Each time a print goes through the press, there's a grand reveal when you pull the print off the plate to see if it worked or not. Such an element of suspense. Thank you for sharing your time with me. It is an honor to be a part of the Birds and Art exhibition, and I know you will enjoy it.